members, welcome back to our Kribi shenanigans. So let's continue from where we ended the last time. So I decided to come by the beach side of the hotel, and then I saw these two guys who proposed to give me a tour of the picnic village and the waterfall for a very fair price. So I just said, okay, let's do it rather than procrastinating for the next day. So we took a bike to drop us off at the place where we had to take a canoe to go visit the picnic village. So this is where they dropped us off. I just had to go down these stairs to go to the area where you see those canoes. From here, we boarded one to take us to our location. See, this was totally unplanned for this day. I had this on my agenda to do in Kribi, but I had it to do the next day. I just wanted to use this day to rest. But these guys kind of convinced me to do it today, and they had a fair price. I don't know what's up with me and trusting people this Kribi trip. People I do not know from Adam. See, so that's why I dressed like inappropriate for this trip. I was just like, you know what, rather than procrastinating, we're already here today, let's just do what we can today, and tomorrow we'll continue from there. So that's how I got on this trip to go visit the picnic village in this outfit and all of that. And yes, I know some of you want to say, you're going in water, where is your life jacket, kinikon. Please just save your energy. We did not have life jackets, story for another day. But if you're watching this video now, you should know that I'm safe. I came back in one piece. So do not panic, no need to fear, all went well. But yeah, if you're scared of water and you're scared of large bodies of waters like that, I know that you freak out on this trip. And plus, if you don't have a life jacket, some people really freak out. On our way, we saw these people minding their business, doing the business that pays them, that is taking sand out of the water to go and sell. And I'm just like, types of sources of income, this money we're all looking for, it is hard. I mean, people are doing hard jobs out there to look for this money. Be gracious to people, I beg. Now, nobody told me that this trip was going to be so long in water. I kind of assumed in my head that it's going to take maybe like 10 minutes for us to get to our destination. But family members, it took us over 30 minutes plus in water. And I'm like, nobody told me. I was not informed. I was very, very not informed. And going was such a hassle because we're going against the waves. So going was slower. We saw some whites that were coming back from visiting the picnic village, and they were waving at us. We're like, oh, hello, we are on our way. Back to what I was saying, going was such a hassle because we were going against the waves of the water. So the people paddling this canoe, they actually stressed, and I could really feel their pain for them. And I think that's why it took us longer, because it was kind of slower going against the waves, because the waves were coming down, we were going inside, right? So it took us so long. But on coming back, it's usually a shorter trip because you don't need to do so much paddling. The waves just automatically carry the canoe and you're just going down. But going like 40 minutes, what? Nobody told me. And the further you go, the stronger the waves of the water become, the rougher the water even becomes. So yeah, that's it, just so you know. We finally reached our destination. I was looking forward to this part, like, are we not reaching? Finally we reached, and they're like, oh, finally we've reached. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I was really tired of sitting in this canoe for so long. I wanted to just stretch my feet. So we started walking into the village, and the first thing you see is this signboard which reads Republic of Cameroon, Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Tourism, blah blah blah, in French and English, before you start proceeding into the village. Now, this place has become a top touristic site when tourists come into Kribi to visit. The government officially made it open for tourists to visit some years ago. Honestly, before visiting this place, I kind of had an expectation of this place. Growing up while watching CRTV, which is our national television station, we watched music videos about the picnics and documentaries about the picnics. So it was kind of exciting because we'll see people dressed in leaves, dried leaves, and then we knew that they were very, very short people. I mean, when they say you're just like a picnic, it means you're not growing, you're short. So this is like their palace area where you sit to talk to their chief. The chief is seated on my right hand side. That's him. Obviously, you have to greet the chief and acknowledge him before proceeding into their community, right? So growing up watching all of those images in Star TV, I knew that that's what I was probably coming to see here. But family members, the shocker of the lifetime, these people are no longer primitive as they were portrayed so many years ago. Now they are dressed in clothes. They're no longer dressed in leaves. We used to know that they are very primitive. Now this house is the house of the healer. One thing the Kribi people are noted for is that they have high spiritual powers. Like when it comes to sorcery in Cameroon, we know that we're just leaving it for them. They have won that battle. So we came behind the house of the healer and then we see all these marabou things and so many padlocks. I'm like, whose destinies have they locked here like this? Obviously, we took permission from the healer before coming to the back of his house. I mean, he was lying down in front of his house. Here he is. He came and met us there. And I'm just like, let's leave this place, please. The energy around this place, the aura, I'm just like, I've seen it. Let's go. But mind you, that's where they even do like light work, the real spiritual work. When you want to get deep into the spiritual work, it happens like deeper into this area. But I'm not here for that. This next hurt here is their market area. During their market days, they come and sit under here and they do exchange of food stuff. Like you exchange rice if you want cocoyam and vice versa. This community is a very, very small community. They have very few houses here. They have about 13 herds in this area, and the population, as at the time we went there, they told us the population was below 50. And I'm like, so what is happening here? Like, how do they live their lives even? Did the government just put them here just for touristic purposes or what? Because I do not even get it. At this point, they're like, this is the end point. The only thing left is like the last hurt of this area. This is the last house. And I'm like, I'm not even interested to go and see the last house. Let's just stand back and be going. Yeah. Before leaving, you have to give the chief some money. This is what he does here the entire day. Just sit here waiting for tourists to come, give him money, and then you take pictures with him. I'm just like, wow. So they told me to now come and take a picture with him after giving him money, and that was about it. I'm just like, so what do these people do with all this money they get at the end of the day? Because they do not have anything they are buying in here. So all the money that tourists come and give them, did they plan with the government that the government has their own share of the money or what? Because I just don't understand. But anyway, that's not my business. That's not my place to determine what they do with the money that tourists come and give them. So it was time for us to go back home. I could carry myself to go and enter the canoe quietly. At the end of the day, these people are living a soft life than most of us because they just sit down, they're doing nothing, and tourists come there every day to give them gifts and money. Like, tell me a definition of soft life other than that. Anyway, from there we went back to the hotel area. It was time for us to visit the waterfall. We had to enter a canoe to take us close by the waterfall, and this was where they decided to give us life jackets. I'm just like, when I'm close to home, like I told you guys, I lodged at a hotel that's really, really close to the waterfall. That's where I got to meet these guys, Raul and his friend. So I'm like, when I'm really close to home, that's when you guys are giving me life jackets. When I was on water for 30 minutes plus, you guys did not give me a life jacket. Yeah, I'll be in water for what, 15 minutes max? That's why you're giving me a life jacket. But anyway, we'll take it and we'll move.
La pluie. Rain il faut. La rain d'assez.
Là, c'est la bouchure. Bon.
La
Là,
rain
c'est la
d'assez. Ici, hein.
I'm sorry.
bouchure. Bien.
That's bien. Il est enrichi. Keep your phone away.
So what are we going to say what I under? Like you heard me asking, I asked them, what are we going to do inside water when rain is falling? I mean, they said because I had already paid for the package to visit the village, the Pingis village and the waterfall, I just have to do it, even though it's raining. I'm like, this thing is supposed to be relaxation. Which suffer is this under rain? But anyway, I'd already paid, so I'm just like, okay, the money shouldn't go to waste. I mean, they were gingered to go this time. I mean, they just had to do it so that they finish with me and they go to the next client of the day. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Let's go under rain. That's how I found myself visiting a waterfall under the rain. No family members. And then this driver of this boat or canoe, whatever, He was driving like he's somehow crazy. He took us so close. I mean, he would start the engine and then drive so close to the waterfall. I'm like, God, I beg, I don't want to die, yo. Which kind of closeness is this? Really, I'm like, did I tell you I want to touch the waterfall like with my hands inside the canoe? He took us so close. This waterfall empties itself directly into the Atlantic Ocean. It holds a huge cultural and spiritual significance to the natives of this area. Before a chief is being crowned in this area, he has to be submerged into this waterfall. And periodically, they hold gatherings where they invoke the spirit of the water, either for protection or for whatever reason they're invoking the spirit for. This waterfall is said to hold high sorcery powers for the indigenous group of people who dominate Kribi. They include Batanga, Mabi, and the Pygmies. The falls are 200 meters high and 100 meters wide at their highest point. The falls are equally a series of cascades that run along a kilometer of streams. The Lobe waterfall is located at about 7 kilometers away from the city of Kribi. Going close to the waterfall, you feel this pressure that the water comes down with, and plus the vapor that comes off. It's a whole different feeling when you get close to the waterfall. I mean, seeing it from afar is one thing, but actually getting close to it gives a different kind of feeling. I just cannot explain that feeling to you, but I mean, if you have been long enough on this channel, you know that I'm a water girl. I mean, I grew up almost my entire life in Limbe, Cameroon. So when it comes to anything water, I mean, that's what I grew up knowing. That's what I'm familiar with. I get excited. The falls are surrounded by white sand beaches, and we decided to stop by one island there just for visit purposes. We got off the boat, left our shoes inside the boat. The boat went back to the hotel area where we're coming from, and then we decided to just tour this other beach which was so close by. One thing Kribi is noted for is having white sand beaches, which is quite different from the black sand beaches we have in Limbe, Cameroon. One thing tourists always look out for when they visit this area is eating the fresh fish roasted. So the guys were insisted that I try out their roasted fresh fish. I mean, how do I tell these people that I'm not even a fan of roasted fish, one? And secondly, I'm not excited about fresh fish. Anyway, we came to this restaurant area. I wanted to sit here and they were like, no, I'll not have the full vibe. Let's go to the back, the other area, so that I can have the view of the sea while eating the roasted fish, right? So we just went to this back area and the view here was honestly quite nice. I enjoy the white sand I'm seeing and the Atlantic Ocean right in front of me. So I sat down trying to wipe my face from the rain that had fallen on me, because the woman who was in charge of roasting the fish told us she had to go home to go and collect some fresh fish from her freezer before coming, defrosting it, fixing it, and roasting it. I mean, the process was just so long for me. I initially wanted to wait, but after waiting for a few minutes, I was like, no, just go and call that woman to come back from her house. Luckily enough, her house wasn't so far from where we were seated, so I just paid for the drink I had started drinking already, and then they called the boat to come and carry us back towards the hotel area. I mean, I was really tired and my body was behaving one way. It was really behaving funny. Mind you, the day before I had a stressful trip coming to Kribi, and it already upset my body, gave me body pains. I mean, I was not just feeling fine. Plus the small rain that fell on me, it just aggravated my situation. My body started telling me, you break down. So we got back to the hotel area, got down from the boat. I wore my slippers and then I was just like, let me go and rest in the hotel, because I cannot come and keep myself that I want to see places. So this is my hotel area. I told you guys that they have like a wood vibe effect going on here, and the restaurant area is quite nice where you can see this white guy and girl sitting and having lunch, but I didn't make a video there. After sleeping for about 1 hour to rest my body before continuing, I woke up with this serious body ache, fever, headache. I was not feeling good at all, so I just took a bike and headed straight away to town to find a pharmacy to get drugs to make me feel better. While driving to town, one thing I could notice about Kribi is how clean the town looked. confirm this is the vibe you used to get in Limbe. Of recent, the Limbe Council owes Isakam company some huge money. Isakam is a company in charge of refuge collection in Limbe. So the council is owing them and they haven't been doing their job. So consequently, you move in the streets of Limbe, you see these huge piles of dirt, trash all over the road, making the place so nasty and dirty. But this is the vibe Limbe used to have. I mean, Limbe of in those days used to be the cleanest city in Southwest, and Fako argue with your keyboards. But yes, that's what I stand for. Limbe used to be so clean. So driving through Kribi, I was just getting this vibe of what Limbe used to be, and I totally enjoyed it. Their main mode of transportation in Kribi are bikes. I don't think I even saw any taxi in town, or even if I did, maybe about one or two max. The dominant language being spoken here is French. It has a population of about 55,000 people, which is like 1/10 Limbe's population. Maybe this explains why the town is so clean now compared to Limbe, which is overpopulated recently. As a result of the crisis happening in the English-speaking regions of Cameroon, Kribi gives off a calm, peaceful vibe. It's not unnecessarily noisy. When you move around and people are playing loud music, it's really peaceful. Maybe if it was English-speaking, I would think of relocating here, but until then. So I went to the pharmacy, I got my medications, I took them, I slept off, and the way I felt that night, I just woke up the next day. I kuku packed my things quietly and started going back to my father's house, because if anything was to happen to me, it should happen to me in my father's house first. It should not meet me in a strange man's land. So that's how I cut my trip short. The very next day, I packed up my things and I was ready to go. I mean, I called my mom. I told her how I was feeling, and she was like, "Drink lots of water, Elomo. Stay hydrated. Rest. Is this your busy body? Always on the move, walking. Even when you're not on the move, you're walking." I was like, "Okay, I've taken to your advice." I drank some water, got some fresh sea breeze, just looking at my view from the hotel, and then I was ready to leave. I left the hotel. I went to Men Travel to take a bus directly from Kribi to Douala, because what I saw on my way to Kribi, I was not just ready for that kind of shaky. I mean, I think that's even what contributed to the way I was feeling presently. So I didn't even want that kind of stress. I just wanted a bus that was going to take me smoothly to Douala, and from Douala, of course, I'll easily find my way to Limbe. The men's travel agency has a very, very nice property just by the sea. I mean, I stood here for a while just having sea breeze and just refreshing my mind. Thank you for watching till this point. I reached Limbe in one piece and I was so exhausted. I was not feeling fine, so I could not even end the vlog. So this is me just ending this vlog here. I'm going to see you all unfailingly by the help of God on my next one. Bye.